Welcome to The Explainer. So, you've brought home a gorgeous cascading fishtail fern, and you're terrified you're going to watch it slowly decline, right? Well, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're taking you from frustrated beginner to confident expert, unlocking the absolute secrets to keeping this specific, lush, trailing beauty thriving and effortlessly draped. Let's get right into it. Let's actually kick things off by answering the exact question every single houseplant owner asks at some point. Why on earth do our indoor ferns always turn to crispy? Honestly, it's a matter of perspective. We really need to stop treating this plant like some tough, resilient office desk resident that can totally handle neglect. Instead, think of it more like a delicate botanical curtain. It's a tropical plant, and it completely relies on a very specific microclimate to maintain that lush, sweeping look. To get you there, we're going to build your knowledge up step by step. Our agenda today: number 1, meet the fishtail fern. 2, light, water, and humidity. 3, soil, feeding, and pruning. 4, propagating your fern. 5, troubleshooting common problems. And finally, number 6, pro tips for lush growth. Section 1, meet the fishtail fern, officially known as Nephrolepis pendula. This tropical beauty is famous for these long, weeping fronds with really unique, forked leaflet tips. Now, there's a huge misconception out there about this plant. When most of us think of a houseplant fern, we instantly picture the Boston fern, right? That really full, dense, upright fountain shape. But the fishtail fern is much looser, much softer, and way more dramatically trailing and pendulous. It is literally meant to cascade downwards, which completely changes how we display it and how we care for it. Moving on to section 2, light, water, and humidity. Okay, these next 3 factors are absolutely crucial. If you don't get these right, nothing else matters. First up, light. Giving your fishtail fern bright, indirect light is totally non-negotiable. Hanging it just to the side of an east-facing window is pretty much the perfect sweet spot. What we really want to avoid at all costs is that hot, direct midday sun. If it gets blasted by harsh, direct sun, those beautiful forked tips will literally bleach and scorch. But if you keep it in bright, filtered light, those long fronds will stay a gorgeous, fresh green and, crucially, remain flexible as they grow. Now, if you remember only one single rule from this entire explainer, please make it this number right here: 55%. That is your absolute minimum humidity target. No joke, the real secret to a stunning fishtail fern is high humidity. If you can push it up into the 60s or even 70%, maybe by grouping plants together or using a humidifier, your fern will genuinely thrive. When the air is too dry, those unique split tips are always the very first place the plant will show stress by turning completely brown and crispy. And that naturally brings us to watering. We absolutely have to stop waiting for the hanging basket to feel feather light before we water. Seriously, this is not a soak and dry plant like a pothos or a succulent. And a thirsty fern recovers way slower than your other houseplants. You really want to water thoroughly just as the top ½ inch, maybe an inch, of the soil begins to dry. The ultimate goal here is to keep the root zone evenly moist and cool, but never suffocating in dense, soggy mud. Section 3, soil, feeding, and pruning. So to actually achieve that evenly moist but never muddy balance we just talked about, here is the absolute perfect DIY soil recipe. You'll want to use 50% cocoa coir or a peat-based mix. That's going to provide your steady moisture retention. Then we mix in 25% fine orchid bark and 25% perlite. Those chunky additions are an absolute game changer because they guarantee the drainage and airflow your fern absolutely needs, ensuring those delicate roots never suffocate and rot. When it comes to feeding, well, fishtail ferns aren't massive hungry feeders. But to support a really steady flush of vibrant green foliage, you do want to feed them lightly. A half-strength, diluted, balanced liquid fertilizer applied every 4 to 6 weeks during those warm spring and summer months is literally all they need. Just make sure to reduce or totally stop feeding entirely in the winter when the plant's growth naturally slows down anyway. All right, myth-busting time for pruning. Never, and I mean never, give your fern a blunt haircut by just clipping straight across the brown tips. Honestly, it leaves these obvious, unnatural cut ends that completely ruin the fine texture of the whole plant. Instead, you want to cleanly remove entire damaged, completely brown, or totally bare fronds right down at the base. Just snip them at the soil line. And hey, if only the very last ½ inch of a frond is brown, just leave it be until the whole frond actually warrants removal. Section 4, propagating your fishtail fern. Okay, you've mastered the basics, so it's time to level up to expert status and learn how to multiply your collection. While you definitely can propagate by dividing the root ball, using the fern's natural runners is actually the ultimate insider secret for building an amazing full display. If your plant is looking a little thin, don't heavily prune it. Instead, find a runner that has a tiny new plantlet on it. Just pin that plantlet directly back onto the bare spots of your soil surface. Keep it evenly moist, and once it pushes out roots, you just cut the runner to separate it. This is hands down the absolute best trick for making a thin, straggly plant look super lush and rich in its basket.
Section 5. Troubleshooting common fern problems.
Even experts face issues, right? So let's learn how to decode exactly what your plant is trying to tell you when things go sideways. This perfectly maps out symptoms to their exact causes, so you never have to blindly guess what's wrong again. For example, if you're seeing brown, crispy edges, your air is likely too dry, you might be underwatering, or you have mineral buildup. Spotting yellowing leaves, you might be overwatering, or honestly, it might just be the natural aging of older fronds. Sudden leaf drop almost always means shock from a cold draft or severe dryness, while pale, washed-out green leaves usually mean you've got it hanging in way too much direct sun.
Section 6. Pro tips for lush growth. To wrap up our masterclass, we've distilled everything down to the ultimate checklist. Let's do a quick rapid-fire review. First, hang it high. This plant earns its keep through its dramatic weeping movement, so give it the vertical space it deserves. Second, treat high humidity as totally non-negotiable. Third, flush the pot thoroughly with plain water every couple of months to wash away fertilizer salts and mineral buildup, which, remember, often cause those pesky brown tips. Fourth, keep the fern far away from harsh, dry heater blasts in the winter. And finally, judge your plant's overall health by monitoring the cinder crown for healthy, fresh new growth, rather than agonizing over a few old, slightly damaged ends. You now have all the tools, the perfect soil mix, the right watering rhythm, and the insider propagation secrets to keep your fishtail fern thriving from root to tip. So the only real question left is, where in your home will you hang this stunning, living botanical curtain? Find that perfect, bright, indirect, and humid spot and just watch it cascade. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and happy growing.